What's up, guys? So I did a video on this about half a year ago, but now I'm coming back to you with more experience, and I'm going to make it more clear because it was very unclear what I was trying to say in that video. Basically, I'm going to talk about how getting a girl's number doesn't mean that you are the boss of all bosses. Doesn't mean you are a super awesome guy. In fact, a lot of the people showing off and doing this, I would say 90% of them, okay, I'll give you like 80%, 70%. They will probably not get a call back from this girl. And I'm going to lay down the evidence and just pretty much explain to you how it doesn't mean you're a badass if you do it. And first thing is, when a lot of people go on YouTube and they search up these videos where this guy gets this girl's number or he picks up this girl and the video has 1 million hits or something, and everyone's commenting, wow, you're such an idol, wow, you're so awesome. And the thing is, I do applaud them and I respect them for having the balls to approach and stuff like that, but just getting a number, it isn't solid at all. And I know this from experience. I used to think otherwise. I used to think, wow, getting a number, man, you are a badass. Like it's a done deal once you get the number, and that's not the case. And I would say the majority of the masses, I would say like 80 to 9% of the masses of males, they have this misconception, and they think that once you get a number, it's a done deal. So whatever means of getting the number, just do it, and you're a done deal. And that's so not the case. I mean, if you come across creepy and weird, most of the time, like, quite honestly, from all the girls I've approached, the easiest way for them to pretty much reject you without hurting their feelings, and therefore the most common way for sure that they reject you, is they will let you have their number just so that they can escape the conversation, and then they will not text you back, respond to you, or anything. And I don't know why. I mean, it's I guess it's a good method, you know. They're looking for a way out of the conversation, and then you provide it by asking for their number. They'll like accept it, and they just won't text you back or anything. And I'm not saying like 100% of girls will do this, but especially if it's a stranger and you are approaching a stranger and doing this, which obviously takes a lot of balls, but it's a tough world for guys. That's what happens a lot, and a lot of people call this flaking, and flaking happens quite a lot. It's a large percentage, and a lot of people, they don't get the point. They'll see these YouTube pickup videos with millions of views, and they'll be like, dude, this guy's awesome, I'm idolizing this guy, this guy is the boss of all bosses. And and basically, to understand this and actually realize it, is pretty much you have to go out there and just figure it out for yourself. Use hard evidence, and you'll realize this. Unless, of course, you are in school and this is a social circle thing, and you've known the girl for years, and you're not approaching a stranger and asking for a number, and it's a warm approach, and you know the girl. Even then, she might not respond if you're coming across creepy or weird, or for whatever reason she doesn't like you. And I don't know why this is, but a lot of people who are very good with girls, like very very good, either handsome or good looking model type, and I've known a lot of them from all areas, dating coaches to people who are just very good naturally with girls, to all different sorts of people who are good with girls. For some reason, they have a high flake number too. I mean, it's just how it works. Sure, their flake number is not as high as maybe me, who is not that great looking or has that great a personality or is that good with girls, but their flake rate, pretty much like how many of the girls actually will respond back once they get their number, it's still evident. It's a still very high, solid number, and basically, I mean, there's a lot of evidence for this. There's a very popular show. Sure you've heard about it, Jersey Shore. I mean, one of the number one shows on MTV of all time. Basically, it's, if you guys don't know, it's pretty much a show of uh, people who are very jacked, who pretty much go out every night to nightclubs and party it up and hook up with girls, and that's pretty much the show. And they film these people doing this stuff, and so basically, if you know the characters, Pauly D, there was this one scene where he came home and he had like 50 pieces of paper, because back in the day, the show is already over, but back in the day, the girls gave numbers via slips of paper, and a lot of people, I mean, would view that and say, "Wow, he's such a boss. He's showing off how abundant he is." And in quite honesty, and this is proven in the next video scene, he's like calling up these numbers after coming home from the night, and none of them are responding, or bothering to respond either the day after or whatever. And he's not surprised at all. He's expecting this because he's experienced, he knows how it works. And it's a tough world. Like, some girls they're just not interested, and it's even tougher because they'll give you your number and try not to hurt your feelings and at least give it to you. And that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes they'll give you your number, and for Pauly D, I'm sure none of the girls were trying to hurt his feelings. I mean, he has such ridiculous confidence on the show. For him, it's probably just the girls are not feeling it anymore, or they change their mind, or at least that night they're not feeling it. And this is just how it works. I mean, rejection is part of it. And so I would be glad to be proven wrong. And I'm sure part of it is my fault. I mean, I'm probably coming across not the best, but I would be glad to be proven wrong. If anyone has 90 or 80% or even like 60% or 50% flake rate, let me know in the comments. Like, give me advice. I'd be glad to be proven wrong. But as far as I can stand, getting a girl's number doesn't really mean that much if your interaction sucks. If the interaction with the girl, and most times from the general public who I've seen trying to spit some game with girls, they suck at it. And they come across like very weird and strange, and they have some sort of agenda, and they want the girl's number, and they'll do all this crappy stuff to get it. They'll be like, "Just give me your number, please, please." And the girl will eventually, she realizes she can't escape without just giving the number, and she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it, so this annoying jerk doesn't harass me anymore." And I don't know, that's just what the general public is like, at least from my perspective. A lot of guys are like that. And even if you're doing it social circle wise, a lot of them might not text back if you're annoying the girl. And so, I don't know. When I was a kid, it was different. Like, I remember this one time where I got a number from a girl, and it was like one of my first times. I had gotten numbers before, but it was usually like a friendly thing, and it was very in my comfort zone. But this time, it was like a girl I just met freshman year of college, and pretty much a black friend of mine, a black male friend, he pretty much almost did the whole thing for me, but not really. Like, he guided the interaction. It was like a Facebook chat conversation with this girl I had just met in college. And this girl it turned out she was a bad quality girl. I mean, she never really paid any attention to me. though she liked to like lead me on and stuff. And so basically, I was really happy, and my black friend, he pretty much guided the conversation on Facebook chat, and then I was too scared, and I didn't know what to do, and I was just scared, and I asked him what to do repeatedly, and he was like, just say this exact line, and I copied and pasted it into the chat, and it was something stupid like, "Hey, I gotta go. Let me get your number," which now it seems very obvious, but back in the day it was like so ridiculous. Like for me, my mind was just blank, and it took every ounce of me to press enter, and I did, and it was like like a jump in level. Like I leveled up. If it was a video game, I would have leveled up at that point because I would not have had the courage to even press enter in middle school or high school. And so I copied and pasted that, and I pressed enter. I know I was kind of a little bit of a chode back in the day, and then I waited, and it seemed like 2 to 3 minutes, but I'm sure it was only like 10 to 20 seconds. But there was definitely a pause there, and then she gave her number, and I thought it was like, at that point I was just so happy. I thought it was a done deal. It's all done. It's a done deal. Now she's gonna go on dates with me. Now I can talk to her constantly with text message, and we can go on dates, and she'll eventually become my first girlfriend. And looking back, it's like it wasn't like that. Okay, if you're sloppy with your interactions with the girl, like that's just going to lead to her distancing herself farther and farther away from you. Like if you come across creepy or weird or a loser, she will distance herself. And looking back, I don't think it was fair. I mean, the girl had, I think she had a little bit of an elitist vibe about her, and she thought she was elite to me, and I wasn't that bad looking back. So I didn't like her anyways, whatever. But the point is, she very quickly uh, sort of got like the power trip over me, and she would ignore texts and not respond to texts and stuff. And sure, I was being a little bit needy, and sure, I was pretty much almost implying that I would let her walk all over me, which is what she did because she knew she could. And that's pretty much what happens, and it led to nothing. I barely saw her, and I really wanted to like hang out with her and go on a date with her or something, but I mean, I knew I couldn't even ask her because, like, if I couldn't let alone keep a decent conversation on text message without her just feeling like she was elite to me and, you know, too good for me, and like ignoring my text messages, like, what's the point? And the thing was, despite it seeming so bad, she wasn't like different from most girls. Like, I knew at the time that there was definitely some stuff I need to work on with myself. And so yeah, that was kind of like a wake up call to me. And so yeah, long story short, and the message for you guys, back in the day, back when I was young, I thought, you know, if you get a girl's number, you were good to go. You could talk to her for as long as you wanted, forever now, and you can call her, and eventually she will become your girlfriend, and everything is smooth sailing from there. No, it's like that's just like the start of the road, and I mean, though, that's social circle wise. A lot of these YouTube videos, which are getting a lot of applause with millions of views, and all these comments saying, "Yeah, you're a boss of all bosses." They're pretty much thinking, like I see in the comments, they're like, this guy got laid. He got laid. It's automatic. Once you get the number, you are laid guaranteed. Look how hot the girl was, who gave him his number. And for me, like, because I've done it before, and I've done it many times before, and I've actually, you know, gone out and gone up to stranger girls and talked to them, having never met them before, and gotten their numbers. I can see it in the girl's eye as they walk away, and the general masses cannot. I can see the girl saying, "Yeah, I'm not gonna text you back. I'm not gonna call you. I'm just trying. I don't know who you are. This is strange," and I can see it in these people's eyes. And what can I say? Obviously, that's not always the case. Again, my example with Pauly D from Jersey Shore, or any super confident suave dude who's not giving off a non-creepy vibe. I can't break it down for a science, but I do know that they still have flake rates, and I'm sure the flake rate is high enough. And I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you're like a model type guy, and 100% of girls you approach just always text you back and respond once you get the phone number, and you go on dates and then they become your girlfriend, let me know. Give me some advice. I'd be glad to be wrong and learn something new that could help me. And I'm sure there's people like that, but at least from my perspective as of now, I don't think they have like 100% non-flake rates. And if they do, they're not approaching like girls unless they're absolutely sure. Like they're approaching girls they have been like working on for years on end in their social circle. Um, and if that's the case, go ahead and leave a comment. It can still help me out and any other viewers out. But what about the times when you actually grow some balls and man up and approach someone at a bar you don't know, or a nightclub, or a party, or just in the daytime, and approach a girl you don't know and get her number, like real stuff? Let me know, like, how is your flake rate, and if it's really really good, how is that possible? So I'll see you guys later, and thanks.